You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! We're doing some huge things here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the Doug Stewart Show, and the biggest thing being broadcasting other shows. That's right, we're executive producing other shows and playing them on my network. You may have a fantastic show or podcast, but do you have listeners? We got listeners. Over 9,000 followers to the Doug Stewart Show on the Spreaker platform, as well as over 200,000 plus listens to the network itself. So here's what you do. Go to Fiverr.com, that's Fiverr.com, and search the Doug Stewart Show or Stewart Media and Entertainment and get all the details. Or just hit up the producer, Tree, at TreeAtTheDougStewartShow.com. That's spelled Trei. Tree at thedugstewartshow.com, and come and do business with us on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play. So, you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW.
Doctor, this is the mayor talking.
All right.
Doctor,
Come on, what?
always do the right thing.
If you came here to hear for fake, you are in the wrong place. We are for real around here. We keeps it real. This is the Doug Stewart Show, the livest, the realest, the trillest sports talk show in America. Are you not entertained? This is Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce, the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah! Game time. Game time. It's game time, baby. What's happening? Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Throwback Thursday. Thank you so much for joining your boy. And oh boy, a lot of great things we're going to get into today. Thank you so much for joining your folk. Once again, it is a Throwback Thursday. Bring that beat back one more time, though. Bring that beat back one more time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shouts out to all of the Stewies. Everybody already in the chat room? Y'all ready to roll? All right, let's do this. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining your boy on the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Throwback Thursday, my favorite day of the week. And, studio audience is in place. Studios are in place. And we're ready to do the damn thing, man. Thank you so much for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Throwback Thursday once again. A lot of good things to get into, man. A lot of football talk. You got Thursday night football action tonight. Greg Hardy responds. Trouble in Sacramento. Some things in the NFL. Green Bay Packers make a move. We'll catch up on the Heisman Trophy race. We'll do all of those things today. Talk a little bit of NBA today on the show. Shouts out to all of the Stewies. Stewies are, that's the name I give to the people that listen to the show and that go in the chat room and be totally interactive and give me their thoughts on whatever's going on in the world of sports and entertainment. That's what I call them, the Stewies. And that place where they post their chat, I call it the Fantasy Island of Sports and Guy Chat. Very simple title. Very, very simple title. You know, we don't misunderstand exactly what they do in the chat room. I mean, they chat about sports and guy talk and whatever is going on, whatever the people are talking about, that's what goes on there. If you're new to the show, you need to follow the show on Spreaker.com. Then you need to jump in the chat room, just hit the little chat bubble, and be totally interactive, man. You can also give the show a call, old school style, 404-382-0338. Once again, that number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com and, get your thoughts out like that as well. All right. Did y'all notice, and I meant to talk about this yesterday, did y'all notice that they play football on Wednesday night as well? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that they also play football games, college football games, on Tuesday night as well. So let's look at this again. So obviously they play football on Saturday. All right, Saturday. Then they play on Sunday. Okay. They play on Monday night. They got Monday Night Football on Monday night. I think there are games on Tuesday. I'm not sure. But I know there was a game last night on Wednesday night. So definitely Wednesday. They played Thursday night, the NFL Thursday night matchup. Tonight you got who? The Chiefs. Not the Chiefs. You got the Bills, and you got the Jets. So that's tonight. And remember, there's always this controversy, and I've been talking about it over the last couple of years, how I think it's very disrespectful that they play football on Friday night. They play college football on Friday night as well. They play confirmed football. Football is aired on TV in this country at least 6 days a week. Now, and I don't know why the studio audience is booing, because actually it's technically a good thing. Yeah, but I get it. Overload. Overload. And I said it, have said it many times over the last couple of weeks. I really despise that whole Friday night football thing, man. But you can't stop it. Where money is to be made, man, these cats going to get this money. And that's what it comes down to. But I was perusing through the channels last night, and I'm like, they're freaking playing a college football game on a Wednesday night. When did that happen? And I guess maybe it's been going on, but I pay so little attention on a Wednesday night to football that last night I stopped for a second. I was like, golly. I mean, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? You don't want to get too much of a good thing, then you lose interest. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're ever, going to get to a point in life where in this country we're tired of seeing football. Just kind of interesting when I thought about it, man. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. So what we do on this show, if you're new, is we talk sports, entertainment, obviously. We also do birthdays. Ooh, we got some very interesting birthdays today, man, on the show. We got a stewette. I just came up with that. We got a very special birthday today for one of the stewettes, so stay tuned for that. We also do top fives. What do we do around here? Oh, we do Dougie Dailies. We do birthdays, as I mentioned. And also today, man, we got a classic stew clip. Now, let me set this up for you. My man Earl McDowell, sent me this clip. He's kind of like the Two Live Stews historian. Have you? I mean, no lie, he is. This guy's got clips from 2005, 2006. But anyway, I just celebrated a birthday last week. That's why I was out of town. I was in Florida, me and the wife. We went and celebrated my 46th birthday, and we also celebrated our 20-year anniversary, and you're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. So every year there's always this theme about, birthdays, and I talk about it on the show, Two Live Stews back in the day and now The Doug Stewart Show. And this particular clip is from 2009, and it's just a conversation. It's not really a bit, or it's not Lou Holtz or anybody like that calling the show, Yao Ming acting, wilding up or anything like that, nothing like that. It's actually a clip from the show. Me and Ryan had a conversation. Me and my brother Ryan had a conversation following the weekend of homecoming, which usually coincides with my birthday as well. I came back from homecoming, and I disclosed something that happened that particular weekend at homecoming, something that I wasn't proud of. I was actually pretty ashamed of the fact that I disclosed this, but it's interesting conversation, interesting banter between me and my brother on the Two Live Stews back in 2009, so you don't want to miss that. I'll play that clip a little bit later today, and we'll do what we do. All right? Also today, as I mentioned briefly earlier, but I'll kind of expound upon it a little bit more, we're going to talk about Greg Hardy, a couple of NFL news and notes, a couple of news and notes in the world of the NBA. DeMarcus Cousins, you talk about disgruntled, off-the-chain ninjas. DeMarcus Cousins and Greg Hardy. We'll talk about both these guys. And another thing I kind of want to give some attention to, man, and you see the title of the show, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. The title of the show is I'm taking all bets. Warriors go 82-0. We're going to get into that, man. The Warriors win again last night, just destroying the Memphis Grizzlies, second time in like a week and a half, beat them by like 50 points the first time. But we hit it kind of on Saturday, but today I want to give it a little bit more conversation. As a matter of fact, I want to give it a lot more conversation, man. The fact that the Golden State Warriors, man, what's their chances of matching the Bulls' 72-10 mark that they set back in the day? So I want to talk about that, man, because I think this is kind of getting serious. And I know it's early. They've only played, 8, 9, 10 games. I know it's early, but seriously, man, seriously, let's talk a little bit about that, okay? I mean seriously, because we had a knockdown, drag-out debate conversation in studio this past Saturday about this very same topic. And, I'm being a little facetious in the title, but not that much, I don't think. I mean, really, I'm not being that facetious, okay? So I want to talk about that when we get back from the break, and I'll give you my honest opinions about the Warriors and their chances of matching the Bulls' 72-10 record, okay? Let's have a little talk about that. We'll get into the Greg Hardy conversation, a couple of news and notes from the world of the NFL, and we're going to kind of break down the Heisman Trophy candidates as they stand right now, based on the experts. All right, we'll talk about that. A lot of fun today, man. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. When we get back, I know it's football season. Let's talk a little bit of basketball, in particular, the Golden State Warriors. Don't go away. Keep it locked. This is the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! We're doing some huge things here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the Doug Stewart Show, and the biggest thing being broadcasting other shows. That's right, we're executive producing other shows and playing them on my network. You may have a fantastic show or podcast, but do you have listeners? We got listeners. Over 9,000 followers to the Doug Stewart Show on the Spreaker platform, as well as over 200,000 plus listens to the network itself. So here's what you do. Go to Fiverr.com, that's Fiverr.com, and search The Doug Stewart Show or Stewart Media and Entertainment and get all the details. Or just hit up the producer, Tree at TheDougStewartShow.com. That's spelled Trei. Tree at TheDougStewartShow.com, and come and do business with us on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
If you're not stewing, what in the hell are you doing? That's the only thing I ask. What in the hell are you doing if you're not stewing? Thank you for joining your boy on the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Throwback Thursday. Throwback clip coming up for you a little bit later today. A discussion between me and Ryan concerning some events that went down at South Carolina State University. There's always something. Whenever I go home, man, it's truly me going home. And when I go home, I really, I get loose. I'm like Puffy and Pharrell. I'm fitting to get loose. And that's what this discussion was all about way back from 2009. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. This segment is brought to us by my good folks from BV Mobile Apps. That's right. Are you an artist or an entertainer? Do you have a podcast or a show? You need to have an app presence in 2015. And you need to talk to my folks at BV Mobile Apps. That's right. They specialize in apps for entertainers. It doesn't cost as much as you think to develop an app, and it doesn't take as long as you think as well. Actually, it's a pretty simple process, but they do it better than nobody else, man. So check out my folks online at BV Mobile Apps. That's B as in boy, V as in victory, mobileapps.com, and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the title of the show is I'm taking all bets. Warriors go 82-0, Shawty. And I did say Shawty, Atlanta style, Decatur style, Shawty. Saturday morning before we started the Two Live Stews, the night before, Golden State had just destroyed somebody. I don't remember who it was. And we have 6 or 7 casts in the studio before we do the stews at 640 WGST, as well as iHeartRadio, 11 a.m. Saturday mornings. And so Naughty Dread's in there, Waterhead's in there, Tree is in there, always trying to pray for people. Ryan's in there, my cousin Gus is in there, Dante. Speaking of which, if you didn't hear this weekend, and I didn't realize it, I always talk about my cousin Dante, but Dante's dad is the great Uncle Donnie. Yes, sir. So Dante's dad, I know I'm kind of getting off the story here for a second, but I digress. This is what I do around here, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So, yeah, Gus, we call him Gus. I don't even know where the hell we got that name from, but we call him Gus. And when you're in the country, everybody got a nickname. So Gus's dad is Uncle Donnie. And I told several stories about Uncle Donnie over the last couple of weeks. Another interesting fact about my cousin Gus, Dante, he just got inducted into our high school's Hall of Fame this past year. Now, let me tell you how special of a thing that is. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. My high school has been playing football, I'm going to guess, for over 100 years. Okay? and they just started this Hall of Fame thing like 10 years ago. Ryan actually was inducted into the first class. Obviously he's one of the only guys that went to high school that played in the NFL. He did a bunch of big things when he was in high school. So Gus is the first quarterback to go into our high school's Hall of Fame. This ninja, his senior year, they went like 13-0. And won the state championship, or maybe 14-0, won the state championship, man. So very proud of that youngin. He's 30-something. He old. But anyway, so back to the story, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So I said, I saw a story, I think, on my phone or on my computer or wherever I had the story at, showing how Golden State dominated last night, and they went to like 6-0 or whatever, man. And I just said it out loud, man. What's the chances Golden State goes 82-0? And everybody looked at me and it was like, and then I was like, stop and think about it. Think about it. Think about how good this team is playing right now. Think about how dominant they've been ever since it kind of coincides to when, Steve Kerr decided to put Andre Iguodala in the starting lineup last year in the playoffs. I don't think they've lost since then, right? They're undefeated this year. And I believe they went on a run. Maybe they lost one game when they made that change, where Iguodala was placed into the starting lineup, and they just started clicking. And there's no way they go 82-0. Let me just say that right now. There's no way they go 82-0. But the 95 Bulls, which won 72 games, 72-10, that is in drastic trouble. I'm telling you. And I saw my man Texas Ty, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I saw my man Texas Ty in the chat room says, if Luke Walton, sorry ass, could coach this team, is just a well-oiled machine coaching itself. And I would tend to agree. Now, I know it sounds ridiculous, and they've only played 10 games. Well, no, they haven't even played 10 games yet. They're 9-0 right now. It's early in the season. A lot of basketball to be played. But if you look at what this team is doing, if they're healthy, there's really, you know what? And I'm gonna say this: the one thing that kind of pops into my mind is when the Bulls went 72-10, it was a foregone conclusion that they were going to win the NBA championship. I mean, hell, they had Michael Jordan. They had the best team. I think they had already won a couple of titles already at the time. So it was a foregone conclusion that they were the best team in basketball. The only kind of major difference, and there's a couple of differences and a couple of things that you can look at and say, nah, they won't go 72 and whatever, 72-10 or 73-9 or 74-8 or whatever. They won't do that because this time, in this year in basketball, there's a lot of question about whether they will even win the title. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out there, and I think, as a matter of fact, Vegas says it, that the odds-on favorite to win it all this year is the Cleveland Cavaliers. So they got LeBron. They got a good team. If they didn't have all the injuries last year, you could really make an argument that, maybe they would have won. I don't know. I don't think they would have because, once again, like my man Texas Ty says, this team is playing like a well-oiled machine. They don't even have their coach. They got sorry-ass Luke Walton, who just stopped playing basketball like 2-3 years ago, coaching this damn team. Shut up, you kids. Oh, I didn't tell y'all, man. We got a class here on a little field trip, man, and they trying to figure out this radio thing. And so the kids out here today just check me out. You shut up! Shut up! Shut up. So Luke Walton's the coach right now. They're 9-0, and they're doing it in decisive fashion. I mean, they're just destroying teams. I talk about how Memphis got destroyed last week by 50 points. They got beat last night again. Memphis is one of those teams, and one of those solid teams that a lot of people feel like would have a shot in the playoffs, in any series. But they're making it look so easy right now. And Steph Curry is on such an incredible high right now that I have an issue in them losing any game at all, okay? Much less than 10 games. I like, even on their bad nights, they're still good. And I know it's early, and maybe it is too early, but this is what we do on Sports Talk Radio. This is like one of the trending things in sports. is the Golden State Warriors. They're young, they're dumb, they're full of you know what. Shut up! Shut up! It's just an expression. Man, studio audience on something today. So they got all of the pieces, man. They got great coaching. Even when they don't have great coaching, they have great coaching. Like literally, I'm serious here. Would you be surprised if they lost 10 games? That's probably the better way to ask the question, because 72 just seems so big. Ask yourself this question. Flip the question around. Do you see this team losing 10 games? Huh? I don't know. I don't see how. Unless Kerr comes back and when they've solidified a playoff spot and Kerr just decides to shut it down, a la Jim Caldwell did a couple of years for the Indianapolis Colts, which was bootleg as hell. Not a fan of that. Unless something like that, or a severe injury to Steph Curry or Klay Thompson or something like that, I don't see them losing 10 games. That's probably the best way to look at the question. Do you see this team losing 10 games? And I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. And I know it's early. And I know some of y'all are scratching y'all heads saying, is this ninja crazy? But there's real conversation out there about this. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. There's real conversation out there. I'm looking at this story, this article posted by, By Matt Moore, NBA writer for NBA.com. He gives a couple of, topics of discussion concerning the Golden State Warriors. The number one thing he throws out there is we have a long way to go. I've already stated that a couple of times. There's a long way to go. There's a lot of things that could happen. They need some luck. And I think you probably need a little bit of luck in any type of monumental feat accomplished in sports. Golden State has already proven it can handle the contenders. The Warriors have already beaten the Clippers and Rockets and don't play San Antonio until January 25th. By that time, the Spurs could be resting players or have injuries. It's a very interesting point. The teams that beat Golden State last year have gotten worse. Atlanta isn't the same juggernaut it was at toppled Golden State last year. I don't know if I agree with that. Atlanta's won like 7 games in a row. The Grizzlies, who actually took the 2 straight games from Golden State in last season's conference semifinals, have been a disaster so far this year. That's right. They've already beat them twice. Nobody is sneaking up on Golden State. The Warriors played their D game versus the Kings and Pistons and won comfortably. Heck, they turned the ball over 23 times, and Curry was only 3 of 10 from three-point range against Memphis, and they still cruised. And talking about that 50-point game last week. Steve Kerr could pull the reins. I talked about that a second ago. No, I don't think so. I think Steve Kerr kind of has that competitive attitude, that competitive spirit, unlike Jim Caldwell for the Indianapolis Colts a couple of years ago. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to be the case. This is all getting ahead of the program, but the 73-win talk is not ridiculous, he says. The Warriors aren't just beating teams, they are crushing them. How would that be received from sports fans? A lot of people are just diehard Bull fans or Bull bandwagoners. You do know that, right? And really, that point has nothing to do with whether they do it or not. It's just going to be very interesting to see the type of response you get from sports fans, from basketball fans, from Bulls fans, if they start to creep close to the 72-10 record. I continue to say this, man. The question isn't can they win 72 times. The question should be, can they lose 10 times? I don't know. I don't see it. What are your thoughts, man? All right, the number to the show is 404-382-0338 is the number. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. When we get back from the break, birthdays. Oh, boy, we got a special birthday today, man. Your boy might even sing. Matter of fact, I'm going to sing, damn it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very special birthday. We'll talk about some celebrity birthdays, and we'll get into some of your chat, man, and get some of your thoughts on this Golden State Warriors 72-10 mark. All right, don't go away. Sports talk with hot sauce. Texas Pete hot sauce, baby. This is the Doug Stewart Show. We're back. The Two Live Stews are back on air every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on WGST. It's sports talk with hot sauce. Special thanks to our sponsor, Bruce Hagen, at hagen-law.com for making it happen.
640 WGST in Atlanta. Search 640 WGST on iHeartRadio worldwide.
Yes! In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your number one advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975 and work it out.
Throwback Thursday on the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you for joining your folk. Really do appreciate it. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Hey, man, if you didn't know, we are doing some big-ass things here on the Doug Stewart Show, man. Through Fiverr.com, that's Fiverr.com, or you can just email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. You can get a 60-second ad starting at just $5. You cannot beat that with a stick. I mean, it's really crazy. That's just kind of like an introductory price, you know. We're also doing voiceovers. I do a classic urban male voice. I can also do an authoritative voice or whatever, kind of like Morgan Freeman or something like that. I can do that as well. Tree does voiceovers as well. And we're also broadcasting other shows on the network, on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. And we're doing interview promotional type commercials, okay? Infomercials have you. And so what that is, basically, if you have a company, if you have a product, and we talk to you about your product, and, get it out to the masses and to the listeners of the Doug Stewart Show and on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. So if you'd like to do business with us, man, email me at Doug at the Doug Stewart Show. Once again, that's Doug at the DougStewartShow.com, and let's do some business. All right. There's a couple other NBA stories that we're going to talk about. We're also going to get into this Greg Hardy latest. It's kind of like some late information about the story. Greg Hardy has actually come out and responded to the pictures coming out showing the injuries to his girlfriend sustained in the sexual or the assault case with him and his girlfriend. So we'll get into that here in a second as well. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at Doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Today, celebrating a birthday, is actor Ryan Gosling. What has he played in? He's played in a couple things. Let me see. Let's see. He performed in an Elvis Presley tribute. I don't care about none of that. He's played in a bunch of things. You know this guy. You've seen his face in a bunch of different things. So he celebrates his 35th birthday today. Anne Hathaway turns 33 years old today. Happy birthday to Anne Hathaway. Actress as well. Omarion turns 31 years old today. Damn. What was the name of the group he was in? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Oh, B2K. B2K is the name of the group that he was with. Him, Little Fizz, Raz B, and J Boog. So happy birthday to him. I think he's a little bit older than my daughter. My daughter is a middle. She's a freshman at college. So happy birthday to him. Sammy Sosa looking like a white man. Happy birthday to Sammy Sosa. They got a picture of this man. Sammy Sosa turns 47 years old today, man. Former Chicago Cub, home run king, home run hitter, now retired and really looks really, really scary, man. And I don't know, man. There's a lot of rumors out there about Sammy Sosa and bleaching his skin or whatnot. I don't know. The man might have vitiligo or something like that. I don't know. I have no clue. But he looked like he's going through some things. Also celebrating a birthday today is Tevin Campbell. He's 39 years old. And, boy, you talk about looking a mess. And I'm sure you've seen the pictures of Tevin Campbell, 39 years old. Tevin Campbell, when you're a little kid, most of the time kids are cute. I mean, sometimes there's some ugly-ass kids out there. But most of the time kids are cute. But when they grow up, you really need to look at their mama. You need to look at their mama and their daddy to kind of get a good depiction of what they're going to look like when they get older. But Tevin Campbell, man, either, he might even be on something. I don't want to say that. I don't have any information that he is. But Tevin Campbell looked like he's been struggling. Him and KC from Jodeci, they've been struggling. Or JoJo, whatever them dudes. Also celebrating a birthday today is, who we got here? Yvonne Nelson, movie actress. She's 30 years old today. Happy birthday to her. Also, one other birthday, man, celebrating and she didn't even tell me her birthday. And I guess that's something that women do. Celebrating a birthday today, man, is the Stewie T. Pitts. Happy birthday, T. Yes, sir. She requested me to sing. Yeah. Happy birthday, Tanya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I wish y'all could see me. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Yes, sir. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. I need to set up a Fiverr. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I need to set up a Fiverr where I just record me singing happy birthday to a loved one of yours that's celebrating a birthday, and I'll sell them Fivers all day long for just a $5. Yes, sir. Happy birthday, T. Oh, my gosh. Look at that ninja. He says, man, we need to have birthdays every single day if Doug sings. Lavelle says, my birthday is in January. I can't wait for the remix birthday song. Man, thank y'all. Thank y'all. I should start selling that for real. I'm really going to take serious consideration to that. Happy birthday, T. Oh, T goes way back, man. Old school dog and poodle. Poodle, in this case, Stewie, to the Two Live Stews, man. Been a big supporter of us for a long, long time, man. Happy birthday to you, man. Happy birthday to you. Oh, man. See, I didn't want to sing because whenever I sing, man, just the chat room just totally just focuses on me singing and the greatness of song that I delivered to the Stewies. So, I mean, hey, I'm very humble in all of the praise that I get for my singing, man. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, let's move on. We can't stay and talk about that all day. Oh, look at Scotty Jones, man. Stu, you're a phenomenon. Look at Vince Wright. Vince says, man, Doug, you're the greatest singer of all time. It's you, R. Kelly, and Luther Vandross, man. Thank you, Vince. And Vince used to be kind of critical of me in my singing. But I guess he saw the light. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show, man. Let me just mention this real quick. Speaking of basketball, a lot of conversation was about DeAndre Jordan going back and taking on the Dallas Mavericks, the team that he verbally agreed to, but then backed out and went back to the L.A. Clippers. Dallas wins like last night, kind of like in a revenge game, I guess you would call it, 118-108. Dirk Nowitzki, 31 points, 11 boards, and 1 assist. It's kind of interesting. Someone mentioned this a couple of days ago. You know Dirk and Kobe are the same age, right? You know that, right? And Dirk is still relatively one of the best players in the game. 31, 11, and 1? I mean, come on. Now, he can't do that every single night, but it's kind of funny. Now, Kobe has definitely played more basketball because the Lakers have been preeminent team in the playoffs year in and year out ever since Kobe Bryant got into the league. He's played in all the Olympics and all of that, logged a lot of minutes. So it's a little bit different, and his body is definitely breaking down. But ball award to the Dallas Mavericks. Mark Cuban's still mad as hell about that whole situation. And speaking of the Lakers, man, Orlando beats the Lakers last night. Lakers go to 1-7 on the year. Unfreaking believable. It's going to be a long year. It is going to be an absolute horribly long year if you're a Lakers fan. It is. There's just no way around it. There's just no way around it, man. All right. When we get back from the break, let's talk a little bit about Greg Hardy. He kind of responds to the pictures coming out concerning his assault case. We'll get into what he had to say. I'll give you my thoughts. We'll read some of your chat. This is what we do, man, on the Doug Stewart Show. I mean, we have fun. I mean, fun. And you're afforded the opportunity to listen to me sing. I mean, what could be finer in Carolina? Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-file, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedugstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
Vegas, I believe, is the only state, or Nevada is the only state where they have legalized prostitution in these whorehouses, and they call them brothels. And it's not in the city limits of Vegas in that particular county. It's like the next county over, and I just heard all of this on the street. I just heard about this, but this is how it actually is. So like one county over, if you drive, and I think this story said it's like 70 miles where Lamar Odom was found. This next county over, they have legalized whorehouses. The technical term is brothels. Yes, Tree.
I mean, I'm going to say something that may surprise you.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like, they need to legalize it everywhere because...
I really think. Whoa! My true calling is singing. Wait a minute, Aunt Esther.
No.
Yeah.
This is real talk here.
You should read this
The government has no business telling
They love
people
me. They
where
love
they
me.
can fling their cat, get their vitamin D. It's not up to the government to decide that. So
And think about it.
While
My
I
whole
wouldn't
life-
choose that as my lifestyle, shout out to Nevada.
My whole
for
life, I didn't know I could
understanding
sing
that
like
that's
this.
that woman's body.
Yeah.
And she can do what she wants with it.
In theory, I wish I would have been doing this 25 years ago. I didn't know we were going to start this this social conversation on whores and whorehouses in America, but yeah, I agree with you, Tree.
I'm telling you, just stop it.
I mean, have you read
government,
some of this
and
shit?
legalize the kitty.
Legalize. These people love
Wait a
when
minute.
I sing. I think we got a new moniker now for the show. Legalize the kitty.
Sports talk. Straight, no chaser.
I mean, these people absolutely love when I sing.
Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BV Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages.
Maybe I
Everyone
just
has
said hell
phones
with sports
on them,
talk
right?
radio and I just
A
sing for the
mobile
rest
app
of my
will
life.
add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BV Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bvmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now.
Oh, my gosh.
That's bvmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
Absolutely.
We're doing some huge things here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the Doug Stewart Show, and the biggest thing being broadcasting other shows. That's right, we're executive producing other shows and playing them on my network. You may have a fantastic show or podcast, but do you have listeners? We got listeners. Over 9,000 followers to the Doug Stewart Show on the Spreaker platform, as well as over 200,000 plus listens to the network itself. So here's what you do. Go to Fiverr.com, that's Fiverr.com, and search the Doug Stewart Show or Stewart Media and Entertainment and get all the details. Or just hit up the producer, Tree at TreeAtTheDougStewartShow.com. That's spelled Trei. Tree at TheDougStewartShow.com and come and do business with us on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes!
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Throwback Thursday. About 30 minutes, I'm going to play a clip back from 2009. It'll be our Throwback Thursday throwback clip. Conversation me and Ryan had. Something very embarrassing that happened in 2009, but trust me, you don't want to miss this clip, so stay tuned to the Doug Stewart Show. The number is 404-382-0338. You can email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Have you gotten your Doug Stewart Show t-shirt? If you haven't, I know we got a lot of new listeners, a lot of the old school Stewie listeners. And when I say old school, I'm talking about from the last year. They already got their t-shirts, man. So we got a couple more left before we order a new t-shirt with a new slogan on it and whatnot. So if you're new to the show, man, if you donate $20 or more, you can donate $20 up to, I don't know, $1 million. I mean, it's whatever your prerogative is, okay? If you donate $20, man, we will send you a Doug Stewart Show t-shirt. All you got to do is go to thedugstewartshow.com, click on the donate button to the right, and donate $20 or more, and we will send you a T-shirt. All right? And we thank you very much. Support independent radio, man. Definitely. This segment is brought to you by our good friends from Strickland Security. That's right, man. Strickland Security, man. They have over 55 years combined experience in the business of home alarm systems. That's right. Atlanta is great, but Atlanta, you need to protect yourself, man. There's just no denying it. If you watch the news, you see these young people, man, they're kicking indoors like crazy, like it's going out of style. And when you're not home and your wife's there, your kid's there by yourself, you want them to be protected. And my folks at Strickland Security can do that for as low as $15 a month. That's right. They can even fix your alarm system. Or they can give you the big boy alarm system with all the bells and whistles, lights, cameras, all of that type of stuff. All right, so go online and check them out at stricklandsecurity.com. That's stricklandsecurity.com, and tell them Doug Stewart sent you. All right? So in a transcript obtained by Deadspin, it's Deadspin and it's TMZ. They pretty much kind of like the scandalous news agencies, but a lot of times, man, they get the story right. Greg Hardy and his attorney, Frank Meister, portrayed the victim in his expunged July 2014 domestic violence conviction as a predator during a confidential reinstatement hearing with the NFL. The two challenged allegations of violence by current Cowboys defensive end and attacked Nicole Holder's, that's the girlfriend's name, character in ways that were pertinent and impertinent to the case. Holder told police that Hardy threw her into a bathtub at his apartment after the two came back from a night out, along with several other people. Meister makes a case, which was never presented in court, that Holder likely tripped on a bathroom scale, and fell into the tub. Yeah, listen to this. Hardy and his legal team have contended that it was actually Holder who was the aggressor in the incident. Holder reportedly ran from Hardy's apartment building after the incident until police were able to catch up to her. Meister, that's his attorney, told the NFL that Holder looked back at police before she started running, saying it's a truism of law that flight from the police is a consciousness of guilt. So, yeah, that's how they actually tried to portray this thing. Now, another part of this story that they don't talk about either, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, another part of this story that hadn't been talked about a lot, in the deposition where it was initially, where Greg Hardy was initially charged, and then it was appealed and thrown out, the initial deposition, when she was questioned about drugs, she admitted to being on cocaine. And so Greg Hardy's whole thing is that, the story isn't like it's being reported. She actually was out of control. She was on drugs, and this thing is really not the way it seems to be, and that she was the aggressor because of this, on the influence of drugs. And so this information coming out, man, is very interesting because Greg Hardy actually took to Twitter yesterday and kind of defended himself and said innocent until proven guilty. And there's a big, big divide, man, in sports world talking about this story. And I heard one of the so-called experts and one of the proponents of for women basically saying that if you root for the Dallas Cowboys, you're rooting for domestic violence. Now, I don't agree with that. I mean, first of all, who roots for domestic violence? So that in itself is just ass backwards from the very beginning, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And it's kind of one of those discussions you always have when you're talking about, are you watching, and if you're watching an athlete or a team, are you supporting somebody that's done bad? A great example of that is Floyd Mayweather Jr. and the whole domestic violence thing. People despise domestic violence, but a lot of people still pay their money to watch Floyd Mayweather fight after fight. Just several situations of that type of scenario. I don't buy into that. I mean, if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan and you're rooting for your team and Greg Hardy makes a big play, are you not supposed to root? I think you can separate the two. And, if you feel like Greg Hardy is guilty of something, do you stop supporting the Dallas Cowboys? I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's necessary. It's almost like that whole thing about R. Kelly. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And I always talked about how after the videotape I saw R. Kelly with that underage girl, that I would never support R. Kelly in purchasing any of his music. I don't want to put any money in R. Kelly's pocket. That's just a moral thing with me. Now, do I acknowledge that R. Kelly is one of the greatest artists of all times? Yes. It is what it is. I mean, you can separate the two. Do I think that R. Kelly's music is banging? Yes. But do I think R. Kelly took that little girl's stuff? I definitely do. We're not going to get into no R. Kelly talk on this show, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. But if you've seen this video, and R. Kelly contends, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, R. Kelly contends that wasn't him on the video. Well, who the hell was it? You got a twin that we didn't know about, Ninja? No, it was you. It was you, man. So that's all I needed to see, man. But once again, it's kind of like you have to separate the two. As a fan, you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, and you're not a supporter of Greg Hardy, but Greg Hardy's on your team, so you're kind of in a compromising situation. But I don't think there's any type of conflict. I don't think there's a personal morale conflict. It is what it is. You're a Dallas Cowboy fan. I respect that. Same thing when Kobe got into all of this trouble with the stuff that happened in Colorado. I'm a Laker fan. What Kobe did, allegedly, I had nothing to do with that. The courts handle that type of thing. We had a big conversation about that yesterday. And somebody says, doesn't it seem wrong that Greg Hardy only got 4 games suspension and you get more games suspension for smoking weed? Yeah, that seems kind of ass backwards. But once again, these are the things that owners negotiate. These are the things that judges went to school for many, many years to give a verdict to. So, I don't know. Very interesting stuff, man. He has a total different story, a different side in the way that the story went down than his accuser, this Holder young lady. So, very interesting stuff, man. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Let me read some of this chat from my man Loose Neck Side. He says, R. Kelly said he had a stunt double. No, R. Kelly had no damn stunt double. And not only that, R. Kelly got a history of messing with little girls, underage girls. I saw something. It was like one of those unsung things or something on BET or TV1, one of the black stations. But R. Kelly, like the time where he actually married Aaliyah, and Aaliyah was like 15 years old. Like I'm trying to, and I'm not exactly sure if that's the exact age. She might have even been 14 or something ridiculous. Okay, but how do you even, comprehend that you would go through an official marriage with an underage girl? Okay, and you've heard several other stories. I mean, he's like, this is his thing. This is his thing. Kind of like Bill Cosby, like the slip chicks Mickeys. Okay, R. Kelly like the young girls. Like, how do you, who allowed that, first of all, and the marriage was annulled or whatever, but what preacher is going to marry a grown-ass man? And R. Kelly, he got a lot of hair on his face. He looks like an old man, okay? What preacher is going to marry, and maybe there's more to the story, what preacher is going to marry R. Kelly to a 15-year-old chick? And it makes no sense at all. From the Oklahoma Sigma, R. Kelly still says that was Aaron Hall on that video. That was Aaron Hall. I haven't even heard that, man. Y'all wrong for that. Casey, Doug say we're not going to get into this R. Kelly talk as he keeps talking about it. Yeah, you're right. From Brother Babe, that wasn't him on the video, Doug. That wasn't him on the video? From Vince Wright, he says, I put R. Kelly's baby pic on Doug's page. Take a look. All right, I'll go and take a look at it. I know it's something funny. From Loose Neck Side, I root for the Cowboys. Those 5 rings are nice and shiny. Yeah. From Angie, the First Lady, right. R. Kelly makes me sick, especially if you have a daughter. Especially. And this is before I even had daughters. I've always had this opinion about R. Kelly. And once again, I'm just like the next ninja, man. I root for R. Kelly. I root for brothers to do good things and to be, very successful and to have a lot of money, But R. Kelly, nah, I ain't buying it. I don't care what y'all say. Just like ninjas all over America always trying to defend Michael Jackson. I love Michael Jackson. I think Michael Jackson was the greatest entertainer of all times. But you know good and well Michael Jackson shouldn't be having no damn sleepover and no little damn kids. I know you were scared. The big bad Michael Jackson, the kids got scared. They heard about Michael Jackson. I can differentiate between Michael Jackson, the performer, and the entertainer, being the greatest of all times, possibly, and the fact that he had an affinity for little boys. That's true. That's true. That's verified. Yeah, I know it might sound blasphemous, but come on, man. Stop it. Stop it. Come on. Ninjas are trying to defend anybody. You know? You trying to defend R. Kelly and you got him on videotape and he says that it's Aaron Hall? You trying to defend Michael Jackson when there's testimony and he has confirmed sleepovers with 8, 9-year-old boys? Come on, man. Just stop it. You trying to defend Bill Cosby? There's like 60 chicks confirmed, and he actually said that he was drugging chicks. He was putting Mickeys in their drinks. Come on, man. Just be real with yourself. When we get back from the break, man, hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. I'm going to read more of your chat. In about 15 minutes, we're going to play a clip from 2009, man. We keep it real around here. I mean, that's it. I'm sorry. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. Your season-long fantasy football lineup is locked in and ready for action, but you don't have to wait until Week 16 to get paid. Put your fantasy skills to the test starting Sunday at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site, where you could kick the season off by winning $2 million. It's the biggest fantasy football contest ever. $10 million in prizes are up for grabs, including $2 million for first place and $1 million for second. One-week fantasy means no season-long commitments. It's fantasy football on demand. Play where you want, when you want, with the players you want, and turn your love of football into a life-changing payday. Just pick your players, pile up the points, and pick up your cash. That's it. You've never experienced football like this. This isn't fantasy as usual. This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and use promo code Spreaker to play for free for a shot at part of $10 million in Sunday's Millionaire Maker event. Enter Spreaker for free entry now only at DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
To give you the history on this Doug Stewart and Tree Taylor battle in Trivia Crack. We just started playing last week. We played 3 games. I won the first one in handily fashion. And then Tree has come along to beat me 2 times in a row. All right. Now, I blame Trivia Crack for asking me dumbass questions about romance comedies from the 1980s. That's who I blame. But she's won, and I got to give her credit. What? I knew you were going to jump.
Like, when you talk about women, Tree has come along.
It ain't got nothing to do with you being a woman.
No, I showed up.
Oh, wait. Did you just... What? Oh, my gosh. Did she just call me the N-word? Oh, damn. Made Doug Stewart Show history just now. As many times as I've almost uttered that term, you did it! And we don't have 7-second delay.
I'm fired.
You getting the BPA. You nominated for a Boiled Penis Award.
No!
Yes, you are! The first time in the Doug Stewart Show history, someone utters the N-word.
I'm sick of you.
You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Good thing we, on radio, traditional radio, at FCC be beating down my damn door right now. They're already looking for a reason to try to put me out of business. And you come up with this. Golly, True. You're better than that.
That girl is poison. You never trust a big button to smile.
From sporting events, concerts, and plays, Gistix has the best tickets for them all. The owner, a veteran and military spouse, founded the company set on delivering affordable prices for all the top events. Also, they sell 100% authentic signed memorabilia and quality fan merchandise. It's a one-stop shop for fans. Gistics was founded in 2014 by 4 fun people with military and DoD backgrounds that are fans of everything entertainment. They work hard at helping fans like us discover tickets for live entertainment at a great price, providing hard-to-find authentic sports items and merchandise. And they offer Easter eggs that give fans additional opportunities to purchase unique items. Active and non-military members receive an additional discount on event tickets and fan merchandise items as a thank you for your service. Again, Gistics is founded by fans, and they listen to other fans to understand the importance of service, price, and quality across the board for entertainment, memorabilia, and merchandise. Check them out at Gistics.com, spelled Jistix.com. Again, Gistics.com. That's Gistics.com. Hour number 2, baby. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Throwback Thursday. Got a nice throwback clip coming up here in a second. Stay tuned for that. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. And, man, how many of my listeners have their own restaurant or retail business out there? I'm sure we have a couple, man. Still using that old clunky cash register to ring in sales. Maybe you have a restaurant and you're taking your customers' orders with a pen and pad. Who does that? It's so time for you to step your game up and maximize your business, operational efficiency, and profits with a point-of-sale system from United States of POS. From touch PC POS systems to tablet-based, they got you covered. United States of POS cater to a wide range of business and have a POS solution for you. Manage sales, staff, inventory, and more with a POS system from United States of POS. Let them know you heard this ad on our radio show, The Doug Stewart Show, and receive 10% off your first order. Or call right now at 855-US-OF-POS. That's 855-US-OF-POS. Or check them out online at UnitedStatesOfPOS.com. Make sure and tell them I sent you. Make sure you do that. So I'm sure you've heard the story about DeMarcus Cousins and George Karl bumping heads for Sacramento. If you didn't know, Sacramento right now is struggling, and that's an understatement to say that they're struggling. So after one of their most recent losses, they're 2-7 right now. After one of their most recent losses, Boogie Cousins comes into the locker room just screaming profanities at George Karl. Clearly they're not on the same page. Rajon Rondo is not seemingly working out there. That was one of the big free agent acquisitions. And it just reminds me about how the more things change, the more they stay the same. And some teams and some organizations just can't get out of their way. Why would you hire George Karl when you knew that there was already an issue between him and DeMarcus Cousins, a pre-existing beef, I guess you would call it? Why would you do that? Why would you bring in Rajon Rondo? And I love Rondo. No, don't get it twisted now. I think Rondo, at his height when he was in Boston, is one of the best point guards in basketball. Can't really shoot, can't hit the backside of a barn. But what he does as a point guard and as a facilitator, man, I'm a big fan of Rondo. I just think he's a good basketball player. If you want a point guard, you would go with Rondo. But you know good and well Rondo got anger management issues. You know he does. And you know he ain't for no foolishness, and you know he ain't for no old school style coach like George Karl. So just really a toxic situation there in Sacramento, man. And the way these experts are talking is that one of these cats are going to have to go. George Karl or DeMarcus Cousins. I'm going to tell you right now definitively, DeMarcus Cousins ain't going nowhere. Sacramento management loved that dude, okay, and for good reason. I mean, he's probably one of the top 2 or 3 pure centers in basketball. A lot of times, man, in 2015, centers not centers. Centers are kind of like hybrid type players. When you're talking about Anthony Davis being one of the premier centers in basketball, Anthony Davis, really, his game is more like a power forward. This is a guy that shoots three-pointers. So the old school back to the basket type center, like Kareem and Moses Malone and those cats, one of the closest comparisons you got to a guy like that in the NBA today is DeMarcus Cousins.
And he's always been kind of volatile, though. Always, even going back before he got into the NBA. Always kind of volatile, even when he was at Kentucky. So we're going to keep our eyes on that story, man. I don't think it's going to end well. And just Sacramento, I don't know if they're buried or if they're built, their stadium is built on an Indian burial ground or something like that. But they just can't get right. For the longest time, the New Orleans Saints couldn't get right, and somehow they broke the curse, and they started winning football games, man. Sacramento's been bad since I can remember. I mean, I don't ever remember a time, and I'm 46 years old, I don't remember a time when Sacramento, maybe for a couple of years when they had Chris Webber, they were okay, but I don't think there was ever a time in my life where we looked at the Sacramento Kings and said they're a real threat to win an NBA championship, and it just continues. It just continues. Even the kids don't like that. Let me read some of your chat. Hey, in the next segment, man, we're going to play the clip, the classic stew from 2009. Conversation me and Ryan had, something that I admitted to live on air. You don't want to miss that. And I want to get into some conversation. We talked about it. We touched upon it on yesterday a little bit, but I want to give it a little bit more conversation. We're going to talk about your Heisman Trophy candidates as of right now, at this point in the season. There's a list out there, kind of like a list by experts on where they think these guys stand right now as far as the Heisman Trophy. So we'll get into that here in a second. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Let me read some of your chat from Vince Wright. Bill Cosby is good. What? I don't know what Vince is talking about. I guess they're still talking about the Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson conversation from last segment. From Jarvis J. Doug, you root for Kobe. You can't defend that ninja either. Never tried to defend Kobe. Never did. Matter of fact, Kobe denies everything. Kobe wasn't charged with anything, and he denies everything. And I don't, particularly root for Kobe. You've heard me say this before. A lot of people get it misconstrued. To be honest with you, I don't really technically root for Kobe. I give Kobe credit where it's due in the fact that he's probably the best basketball player we've seen since Michael Jordan in the NBA over the last 30 years. I'll say that. And I'm a Laker fan. So maybe it gets kind of confused with me being a Laker fan and me being a Kobe fan. From Sluggo Ninja, don't hit them with too much truth. They will off you and blame it on Thorny. I don't know what they're talking about. From Ducking and Dodging, we all cheered for players who aren't good people. That's right, and that's where the whole conversation went back to. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. A lot of sports talk right now, going on with this whole Greg Hardy story is you're wrong if you root for the Dallas Cowboys because Greg Hardy plays for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't get that correlation at all. I don't see that correlation at all. You're a Cowboy fan first and foremost. That's your team. You didn't have any decision, any part of the decision-making process on not charging him with a crime or signing him to the Dallas Cowboys, which Jerry Jones did. You're a fan of the team. So I don't get that at all. From Nino the Rhino, Bill Cosby is good people. Yeah. From Loose Neck Side, R. Kelly said it wasn't him. He was trapped in the closet. Here you go. Let's see what we got here. We'll read some more of this chat when we get back. It's a lot of it. It is a lot of it, man. All right, when we get back from the break, man, we'll play a clip from 2009. We'll play that coming back from the break. We'll just go straight into it, and then we'll come back. We'll read more of your chat, and we'll get to some Heisman Trophy talk as well. All right? Sports Talk with Hot Sauce. The Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away.
Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
Let me read more of this chat before I get out of here. Oh, my gosh. Okay, my man K3000. Yeah. If you're new to the show, K3000, he's kind of long-winded. We love him, though. So I guess this is why Tree's playing this music in the background. He says, Dougie, I feel you. People love making fun of people when they get caught doing something semi-wrong, like receiving extra free shrimp. But they don't realize that a lot of these guys are effing starving and that they're effing restricted from even signing their name for gain. You give me a damn scholarship and I'm supposed to sign over all my damn rights, all my money-making potential. And if I don't comply, then you blackball me so that I can't make it to the next level to actually receive a check. GTFOH, he did a bunch of GTFOHs. CSI, this is the ish. I'm pissed off about too. That's like dude from Ohio State that actually went to court to get the rule changed and then got blackballed and lost at life. GTFOH, a lot of them. I'm totally with you, Dougie. I'm totally with you. Thank you, K3000. I'm with me, too. From sporting events, concerts, and plays, Gistix has the best tickets for them all. The owner, a veteran and military spouse, founded the company set on delivering affordable prices for all the top events. Also, they sell 100% authentic signed memorabilia and quality fan merchandise. It's a one-stop shop for fans. Gistix was founded in 2014 by 4 fun people with military and DoD backgrounds that are fans of everything entertainment. They work hard at helping fans like us discover tickets for live entertainment at a great price, providing hard-to-find authentic sports items and merchandise. And they offer Easter eggs that give fans additional opportunities to purchase unique items. Active and non-military members receive an additional discount on event tickets and fan merchandise items as a thank you for your service. Again, Gistix is founded by fans, and they listen to other fans to understand the importance of service, price, and quality across the board for entertainment, memorabilia, and merchandise. Check them out at Gistix.com, spelled Gistix.com. Again, Gistix.com. That's Gistix.com. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. November 12th, 2015, Throwback Thursday. Thank you so much for joining me, boy. I think I misspoke earlier. I said we were going to come straight back to the clip from 2009. Well, we didn't. But we'll play it here in a second. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. We're going to get to some Heisman Trophy conversation here in a second. But I want to play this clip, man. This is some classic stew for you on a Throwback Thursday. This is from 2009. I make an admission. I'm just coming back from homecoming, so I guess you can kind of imagine. But without further ado, man, 2009 classic stew.
You got shut down.
Right. Okay.
Hey, that's what you hate, Doug. That's what it is.
Hey, I got an announcement, man. I got an admission, per se. This is kind of embarrassing, but I think it's going to add something to the show. This past weekend, I went to homecoming, as I mentioned earlier.
Add something to the show.
And I drank profusely. I did. I threw up, man. I threw up. I threw up this weekend.
Excuse me? Not you.
Yeah, man. I'm about to turn 40 in 4 days, and I knelt to the porcelain god Saturday morning.
After how you talked about me for taking days off, man, and having a Heineken or too much.
I didn't do it Sunday night, though, when I had to come to work the next day.
But you still did it.
Yeah, I threw up, man. I haven't thrown up in 10 years. And the bros, and we were playing golf, and I had to leave because I could feel it coming. And I didn't want the bros to see me in that condition.
So who are you to chastise me and how I live my life?
I left after 10 holes of golf on Saturday morning, and the brother's like, where you going? I'm like, oh, my mom's calling me. And when I tell you, I went back to that room, and I threw up to the porcelain god.
I understand.
Sir.
Trust me.
And you know how it happens. It happens real slow.
While the music is playing, I want to say something, man.
I was sweating.
Cold sweat.
Cold sweat, clammy, that clammy sweat.
Eyes really red.
Eyes red.
Back wet.
Back real wet.
Yeah. And then you tried to bring it up, but it wouldn't come up, so you had to dry heat for a little while.
Nah, I knew it was going down, so I told them dudes I had to go.
I've been there.
Well, look at the time, guys. Well, we got 7 more holes, Doug. Not me. I threw up on myself.
All I want to say, man, is I've been there before, and you're not a terrible person for that happening, Doug.
No, but I'm 40. I mean, grown men, 40-year-olds don't throw up.
Why?
Because we don't.
If you had too
We've
much
learned our lessons over the years.
If you had too much to drink, you do. It's part of the game, man. And I'm going to sit here and look you dead in your face and tell you, man, it's not the last time that Hath will throw up again. It is not the last time. It will happen again.
No.
I don't know if it's going to be for your daughter's wedding. I don't know if it's going to be when your kids move out the house and you don't have to put no money in their accounts. I don't know if that's what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be when...
I'm out of the throw-up game, sir. No. I'm out of the throw-up game,
but
believe me.
It's been 10 years. Trust me. You'll be back.
Sir, I threw up on myself.
It's a man thing.
Listen to me.
It's a man thing.
I didn't tell you that part, too. I didn't get to the toilet quick enough. So a lot of it got, like, on the carpet in the room.
No. Now that, my friend, is unexcusable. You listen to me, and you look me in my face. A guy that does this 2-3 times a year, for you to throw up on yourself or on your possessions is unexcusable.
You throw up 2-3 times a year, man?
Oh, yeah, I go for it sometimes, sir. I go for it.
That's embarrassing. I wouldn't tell anybody that if I were you.
It's an accident. I don't ever set out to throw up. It's the mixing of liquors that make it happen.
Well, if you know that, why do you do it?
Okay.
And that's what happened to me. I kept sipping all night, and every time I go somewhere, hey, Stu, let me buy you a drink. And I can't deny that.
Gotta say yes.
I mean, who am I to not accept a drink from a friend?
I'll say yes to hide from people.
So, yeah, I got to make an admission. I think that'll help make this right, man, because I'm so embarrassed by this.
Monday Night Football goes down tonight.
And I'm not going to do it again.
Is in...
All right. So you just heard that from 2000. And I know it's a bad example for the kids, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I know it's a horrible example for you kids. And don't follow me. Be better than me. You just heard that admission back in 2009. This was 4 days before my birthday, my 40th birthday. And I talked about how I would never do that again. I'm older and I'm wiser. I got a couple more admissions to make today, man. One of them I've already made. The Thursday before homecoming last week, and I talked about this finally. I had to talk about it because we had so many gaffes in the studio that I just had to come clean. When I did the show last Thursday, before I went to homecoming, I was drunk as a skunk. Yes. I was. And I'm not proud of it. But it's kind of akin to like a pastor talking about all of his sins, okay? Now, I put on a quality radio program here, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I do. But, unfortunately, last week I was intoxicated, and I almost threw up a couple of times on air. Yeah. And the second, admission that I want to make is you heard the little clip from me throwing up 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago now. Well, yeah, it was 6 years now because I just turned 46. About me throwing up and how embarrassed I was. I have another admission to make, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I did it again. I did it again this past weekend. Well, what did you do, Doug? I threw up again. I did. I threw up on myself again. Like freaking Ned the Wino. I did. And once again, I hope my kids don't hear this. I am embarrassed, but I feel like it's almost a way to cleanse myself, of the fact that I'm almost 50 years old, and that every once in a while, I am not perfect as well. And sometimes, if the situation is right, I tend to get loose. Just don't do as I do, kids. Like my old man used to say, you're listening to this, you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Do as I say, not as I do. Yes. Sunday morning. I really went for it Saturday night. And Sunday morning, something was wrong, and I had to get rid of it from my system. And I did kneel to the quote-unquote porcelain god. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm reading this as Doug can't handle his liquor. No, I can handle my liquor just fine. Can you handle about 12 drinks? I mean, 12 drinks. I think anything over like 3 drinks is alcohol poisoning. Or maybe like 5 drinks is like alcohol poisoning. Actually, for a man that drunk 12 alcoholic drinks, cocktails, I think I'm damn fine. And that doesn't happen every once in a while, all the time. It happens every once in a while, every couple of years. Okay? And before you know it, you're just starting to get loose once again like Puffy and Pharrell. And it's 5 drinks, it's 6 drinks, it's 7, it's 12 drinks. Or beers. And I'm not really a beer drinker, so it's usually alcohol. I know, I'm embarrassed. I should be ashamed of myself. Don't go away. Your season-long fantasy football lineup is locked in and ready for action, but you don't have to wait until Week 16 to get paid. Put your fantasy skills to the test starting Sunday at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site, where you could kick the season off by winning $2 million. It's the biggest fantasy football contest ever. $10 million in prizes are up for grabs, including $2 million for first place and $1 million for second. 1 week fantasy means no season-long commitments. It's fantasy football on demand. Play where you want, when you want, with the players you want, and turn your love of football into a life-changing payday. Just pick your players, pile up the points, and pick up your cash. That's it. You've never experienced football like this. This isn't fantasy as usual. This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and use promo code Spreaker to play for free for a shot at part of $10 million in Sunday's Millionaire Maker event. Enter Spreaker for free entry now only at DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
To give you the history on this Doug Stewart and Tree Taylor battle in Trivia Crack. We just started playing last week. We played 3 games. I won the first one in handily fashion. And then Tree has come along to beat me 2 times in a row. All right. Now, I blame Trivia Crack for asking me dumbass questions about romance comedies from the 1980s. That's who I blame. But she's won. And I got to give her credit. What? I knew you were going to jump.
Like, when you talk about women, Tree has come along.
It got nothing to do with you being a woman.
No, I showed up.
Oh, wait. Did you just... What? Oh, my gosh. Did she just call me the N-word? Oh, damn. We made Doug Stewart Show history just now. As many times as I've almost uttered that term, you did it! And we don't have 7-second delay.
I'm fired.
You getting the BPA. You nominated for a Boiled Penis Award.
No.
Yes, you are. The first time in the Doug Stewart Show history, someone utters the N-word.
I'm sick of you.
You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Good thing we, on radio, traditional radio, at FCC be beating down my damn door right now. They're already looking for a reason to try to put me out of business. And you come up with this. Golly, True. You're better than that.
That girl is poison. You never trust a big button to smile.
Stewies, what's up? Tree here to talk about your home security and the security experts at Strickland Security. Everything the team at Strickland Security does is focused around increasing the security of your home, protecting your family, and your business. Most home security companies, especially the larger ones, want to sell you a cookie-cutter alarm system that maximizes their profits but not your security. The team at Strickland Security will install a customized alarm system that meets your budget and your security needs. This Atlanta-based company is here to solve all of your security problems. Whether you need your alarm system repaired, surveillance cameras installed, or your door locks replaced, Strickland Security is the solution. Don't wait. Call the experts at Strickland Security today. For more information, go to their website at stricklandsecurity.com or give them a call now at 800-422-9075. That's 800-422-9075 and tell them Tree sent you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Doug Stewart Show, man. And all of my flaws, you still ride with your boy, man, and I thank you for that. Sometimes I get alcohol dead, but you still love me. Thank you. Sometimes I don't come in here and sing for you like you would like for me to do every single day, every single segment. As a matter of fact, you want me to do a singing type show, but you still love me, man, and I thank you. I thank you for that. I thank you for that. Leonard Fournette. Have you heard the story about Leonard Fournette? The NCAA is investigating him and his family for rules violations. The investigation stems from the existence of a website that was created to sell Leonard Fournette merchandise. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The site was launched the week of last year's season opener and was taken down within 24 hours, according to USA Today. According to the report, the site was selling merchandise featuring Fournette's catchphrase, Booger Nation. Booger stands for Being United Generates Attitude, a slogan invented by the Fournette family. So wait a minute. Oh, man, I love ninjas, boy. I love ninjas. Damn it, you give us an inch, we're going to take a mile. USA Today reported that Paul Price, all of this stuff is very vague. I love when the story is just vague. Described as Fournette's family manager, made $10,000 worth of payments to build a website and make the site's merchandise. It is against NCAA rules to use a player's image or likeness, and the website skirted that issue by using only the catchphrase. Okay, so what? What is the NCAA going to do? You know I'm not a fan of the NCAA. I think they're a bunch of crooks. Okay? They want to make all of the money. They want all the damn money, and they don't want these athletes to profit any from their likeness, which is totally contradictory to America. It is. So what are they going to do to Paul Price? And because Paul Price did this, it's kind of like the Cam Newton story from a couple of years ago. If all Paul Price has to say is, Leonard didn't know I was doing this and did it, right? Just like Cecil Newton said about Cam. Cam didn't know that I took this money or whatever for his recruiting. He didn't know that. So what is the NCAA going to do? I hope they put up a damn site, and I hope they make $1 million a day. Damn the NCAA. So, in one hand, they pulled it down quick because I guess the heat really came down on them. And then on the other hand, they set up the website surrounding around this catchphrase, Booger, so that they wouldn't have to actually use Leonard Fournette's name, and his likeness. Wow, I wish I could have seen that website, man, and see exactly what it was and how they had it set up. Man, God bless you. I would set up a damn site. My nephew or my cousin had nothing to do with this. And damn it, we making money. And I'd be paying my cousin Leonard Fournette under the table. Heisman Trophy, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Heisman Trophy race right now. And this is the list that they put up on the puppetfactory.com, Heisman Watch. And it's looking at the experts poll. Number 5 on this list is Christian McCaffrey. You know who that is? That's Easy Ed's son, Ed McCaffrey, former wide receiver for the Denver Broncos. And we probably, you might not even know about this kid, but Ed McCaffrey's son is, I think the proper term for him is a beast at running back. Right. How often do you see that? How often do you see that? A white kid flourishing at the running back position in football, not just college or pro. You know who he reminds me of? And this is this whole thing, we always play comparisons, a white guy to a white guy and a black guy to a black guy. But this McCaffrey kid, if you've seen him play, he reminds you of Danny Woodhead, but he's bigger and he's stronger, and he might even be a little bit faster than Danny Woodhead. But the same type of downfield running. And, I mean, they got a second gear, and this McCaffrey kid's got a second gear from hell. But right now, running back for the Stanford Cardinal, he has close to 1,600 yards rushing and receiving, 1,200 rushing and about 325 receiving. So, actually, he's already over 1,500 yards total combined yardage, receiving and catching. Running back for the Stanford Cardinal, he's not going to win it because he's just a sophomore. But I could easily see this story, especially if Stanford is good for the next couple of years. I could easily see him being a top contender for the Heisman next year. He's not going to win it this year. It's just not going to happen. As much as you might want to give it to him, it's not going to happen. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Coming in at number 4, as it stands right now for Heisman Trophy contenders, is Ezekiel Elliott, the running back for Ohio State. He's got 1,244 yards rushing, 14 touchdowns on the season. Very good season for Ezekiel Elliott. I think he's going to be a good pro, solid running back, but he's not going to win it this year. There's just not enough talk, enough conversation about him. Corey Coleman, wide receiver for the Baylor Bears. This ninja, this man has 20 touchdowns already receiving, but he plays for Baylor. Chances are they're probably going to lose a game at some point. He's not going to win the Heisman Trophy, and he plays wide receiver, so he comes in number 3. And at number 2, right now as it stands, per these experts, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, they've got Leonard Fournette at number 2. No, wait a minute. I kind of went off on this yesterday, and I'm going to go off on it a little bit today. Before this game this past weekend against Alabama where they shut them down, in effect, they put 8 men in the box, and they stopped them. I mean, you can do that for pretty much any running back in the world. Usually you have a little bit of passing to offset teams doing that. So they stopped the guy. But I talked about it yesterday. Before this game against Alabama, Leonard Fournette was averaging 199 yards a game. And not just fluky, Rashawn, what was the running back name for Colorado? Not no lame 199 yards a game. Dominant 199 yards per game. Running over folks. I mean, destroying folks. Stiff-arming fools to hell in the SEC. He's gone from 199 yards a game to, after this performance this past weekend where he only had like 30 yards, to now averaging 172 yards a game. What? The man has a game. The man has a game where he only rushed for 31 yards, and after that, he's still averaging 172 yards a game? And you got him at number 2? This is an injustice. And right now in the voting, they said if the voting were to happen today, Derrick Henry would be your Heisman Trophy winner. He has 17 touchdowns. He has 1,254 yards. The man's averaging 5.8 yards per carry. Oh, yeah, back to Leonard Fournette. He's averaging 7 yards per carry. The best football player that I've seen this year is not even close is Leonard Fournette. It's not even close. Derrick Henry kind of hit it a little bit yesterday. I'm not sure about the type of running back he's going to be in the NFL. It's kind of a coin toss and interesting enough. Another Alabama running back gets benched. Eddie Lacy gets benched for their coming game this weekend for James Starks. But I don't think Derrick Henry is going to be that great of a pro. He's kind of lumbering, kind of tall, kind of runs tall, doesn't have the breakaway speed like a guy that stood tall when they ran like Eric Dickerson. He's not that type of running back. He's kind of a lumbering, bruising type back. I don't know what type of pro he's going to be. And really it doesn't matter what type of pro he's going to be when you're talking about the Heisman Trophy. I get that. But to me, it's not even close. Now, if Leonard Fournette has another 2 or 3 games where he gets totally shut down, and teams don't employ a defense where they stack the box and he's just having bad games, then you might back off from him a little bit. But come on, man. One bad game compared to 7 games of dominance is just ridiculous to me. But there you have right now. If the Heisman Trophy award ceremony were to have happened today, they're saying Derrick Henry would win it. I don't dislike Derrick Henry, but he's not no Leonard Fournette. He's just not. He's not. And he does exactly what they need to do, what a running back needs to do for the Alabama Crimson Tide. That's what they do, okay? They play smash mouth, old school style football, even though they do run a lot of spread. But defensively, they get after you, and they wear you down because of the talent level that they have and because of the size, speed, and skill set of the players they have on the team. It's as simple as that. And anytime, and keep your eye on this, Alabama has historically struggled over the last couple of years against teams like Oregon or teams like a Baylor or a TCU that do that spread offense, and they throw it a gazillion times, and you kind of neutralize, the size that they have on defense, when you do that. So we'll see what happens, man. But as of right now, man, Derrick Henry is your front runner for the Heisman Trophy. I disagree with that. And maybe that's just those guys' opinions. I don't know. I don't like that. From Andre Elam, if Dalvin Cook didn't have the bad hamstring in the ishy offensive line, he would be leading the nation in rushing. I can agree with that. One thing I will say though is I don't see Dalvin Cook translating as well to the NFL as I do Leonard Fournette. I think Dalvin Cook's going to play in the league and he might be very, very good, but I don't see what he does or what he's been doing at Florida State to translate totally to the NFL. What Leonard Fournette's doing, he's going to go in from day one, starting for whatever team picks him, and I think he's going to ball out of control from day one as well. From loose neck side, Trayvon Balkin lost one game, and they tripped, and he had a few picks, lost a game, but he threw for 450 yards and 3 TDs. Yeah, to me, based on his body of work, which Trayvon Boykin did last year as well, then add on top of what they did this year, I would put him as that 5th candidate as compared to the McCaffrey kid. And McCaffrey kid is electric. I've seen a lot of what he does. But, yeah, if you look at a body of work and what they've done, I agree. Trayvon Boykin should get that spot. And as a matter of fact, I just thought about it. Why are we not even talking about why are these so-called experts not even mentioning Deshaun Watson? I would think Deshaun Watson, should be one of the top 2 or 3 candidates, Clemson quarterback. So it makes no sense to me at all. And maybe this is just some pie-in-the-sky stuff that the Puppet Factory puts out there for us to talk about. I would think that's probably the case. If I had to do my own list, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I would put, clearly I would put at number 1, Leonard Fournette. Number 2, I would probably put Derrick Henry. Number 3, number 2, I would put Deshaun Watson. Number 3, I would put Derrick Henry. Number 4, I would put Ezekiel Elliott. And maybe number 5, I'd put Christian McCaffrey. I don't know about the Corey Coleman kid. He's got no shot in the world to win this thing, so I would just pull him out totally. But that's what I would have. I mean, Boykin is just totally they lost. He's done. It's a wrap. He gets no love at all. That's just not. That's not. It's crazy how creatures of what's the saying go? Prisoners, not creatures of habit. Prisoners of the moment we are in sports. It's just crazy. I mean, you just totally forget about Trayvon Boykin throwing for 600 yards every other week. And 6-7 touchdowns. I mean, that's what this ninja is doing week in and week out. Go back and look at Trayvon Boykin's numbers. Matter of fact, I'll pull that up when we get back. All right, when we get back from the break, man, we'll read more of your chat. We'll wrap up today's show, the funnest show on turf. This is the Doug Stewart Show. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-file, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedugstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
Vegas, I believe, is the only state, or Nevada is the only state where they have legalized prostitution in these whorehouses, and they call them brothels, and it's not in the city limits of Vegas in that particular county. It's like the next county over, and I've just heard all of this on the street. I just heard about this, but this is how it actually is. So like one county over, if you drive, and I think this story said it's like 70 miles where Lamar Odom was found, this next county over, they have legalized whorehouses. The technical term is brothels. Yes, Tree.
I mean, I'm going to say something that may surprise you. To be honest with you, like, they need to legalize it everywhere because...
Whoa. Wait a minute, Aunt Esther.
No. This is real talk here.
Okay.
The government has no business telling people where they can fling their cat, get their vitamin D. It's not up to the government to decide that. So while I wouldn't choose that as my lifestyle, shout out to Nevada for understanding that that's that woman's body.
Yeah.
And she can do what she wants with it.
In theory, I 100% agree with you. I didn't know we were going to start this social conversation on whores and whorehouses in America, but I agree with you, Tree.
I'm telling you, just stop it, government, and legalize the kitty.
Legalize? Wait a minute. I think we got a new moniker now for the show. Legalize the kitty.
Sports talk. Straight, no chaser.
Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. We're doing some huge things here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the Doug Stewart Show, and the biggest thing being broadcasting other shows. That's right, we're executive producing other shows and playing them on my network. You may have a fantastic show or podcast, but do you have listeners? We got listeners, over 9,000 followers to the Doug Stewart Show on the Spreaker platform, as well as over 200,000 plus listens to the network itself. So here's what you do. Go to Fiverr.com, that's Fiverr.com, and search the Doug Stewart Show or Stewart Media and Entertainment and get all the details. Or just hit up the producer, Tree, at thedugstewartshow.com. That's spelled Trei. Tree at thedugstewartshow.com, and come and do business with us on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes! underdogs, heavyweight champion of sports and guy talk radio. This is the Doug Stewart Show. And thank you so much for joining your boy. Thank you so much for joining me on the show, man. I mean, we are doing some huge things on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Shouts out to my man Poe Politickin, as well as Kesey, the Kicking It with Kesey show. Both aired on yesterday on the network, man. If you have a podcast, if you have a show but you don't have listeners, all right, we got listeners, man. We're trying to build a network here from the ground up, and we're doing it. We're doing it, all right? So if you got a good show, man, and you like to be introduced personally to close to 10,000 followers, man, email me at Doug@thedugstewartshow.com, and let's talk about it. Let's do some business, all right? Let's grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Doug Stewart, what it do? John Fisher in the building, baby.
John Fisher in the building. What's up, John Fisher? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I ain't called up in a minute, but I want to touch on that Fournette situation over there, man. I don't like how the NCAA rocks, you know what I mean? Because this is my take, Doug. If I was at LSU or at any college and I had an academic scholarship and I happened to open up my own business, I'm not going to have to, I don't get in trouble for that. You know what I mean? And it's only the athletes that get in trouble for this stuff, and it's usually the sports that are predominantly, black. So I just don't like how the NCAA, tries to corner the market and tells them to dictate what they can and cannot do. And you can't tell somebody's family member, hey, we're gonna use this to make some money. You can't. How can you tell somebody it's not him? And like you said, they're not using his name. Right. They're just using his little slogan.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's kind of reminds me of the story. You remember Greg Anthony when he was at UNLV? He started like $1 million T-shirt company from his dorm, and the NCAA came down on him and was like, all right, then, well, either you shut down this T-shirt business, or we're gonna have to, suspend you and penalize UNLV. He basically gave back his scholarship. He was like, y'all keep the scholarship. I'm fine. I'm good. I'll pay for my own school. And that man went to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas on his own dime. And so maybe we'll start seeing more things like that, man, because this whole story to me is ridiculous. How do you verify? How do you even prove that this business had anything to do with Leonard Fournette? You really can't. You probably know it does, but you can't prove it.
Exactly. And I just don't get it how, you can be, 17 years old playing professional golf. You can play professional baseball and make money, 16 years old, but the sports that are predominantly black got to go to college and take X amount of. That's why I supported what Emmanuel Moutier did, and what Brandon Jennings did. Go overseas and get paid for it. That way you don't got to worry about taking any type of sanctions, hurting stuff for your teammates or hurting yourself and your name or your brand by accepting money or not going to class or whatever. Go overseas, get that money, but there's nothing like that for football, though.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, John, before I let you go, man, the real question I need to ask you, though, man, is how you like that rendition of Happy Birthday today, man? How you like that?
Oh, my Lord. Hey, that rendition of Happy Birthday needs to be number one on the Billboard chart, man, dog. You need to do some singing every day. You be slacking sometimes, man, because that makes my day, man. You be slacking sometimes. And I think you're getting ahead of yourself because, you sing so good, you just leave us out there hanging dry. You don't sing all the time, man.
John Fisher, you're a great American, sir. Thank you for the call.
Appreciate it. I'm out.
There you have it. And what is this? I'm getting a sign from Walter. Walter's writing something down, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Walter's writing something down. He says, John Fisher's call is representative of all the listeners to the show right now, meaning the Stewies. Yeah, you write a long letter, Walter. The Stewies are ecstatic that you sung for them today the greatest rendition of Happy Birthday that they've ever heard in their life. And then Walter says he took the note back and he's writing something else. Thank you, Doug, for the singing. Wow. Thank you, Walter. Thank you, Stewies. Yes, sir. Oh, boy. Wow. I really, really, really am considering an offer from a label. The only problem with it is that it would take away from my time doing the Doug Stewart Show, and the Doug Stewart Show is numero uno. But it's almost kind of like a sign from up above: is follow your passion, follow your talents. The good Lord said I need to sing, then I probably should be singing. I don't know. So I got a lot of decisions to make concerning that. Thank you so much for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I mentioned before we went to the break, let me throw this out there. We were talking about Trayvon Boykin and the fact that they had the one loss, and so he's not even in the Heisman Trophy conversation. And listen, I get it. I always rail about those teams in the Big 12, those two teams in particular, Baylor and TCU, and style points that, I don't believe that stuff would hold up against a solid team with solid defensive players and talent. So I kind of get that. You kind of think a lot of the stuff they do is by smoke and mirrors, but the numbers are just tremendous. TCU has played 9 games this year. The first 2 games against Minnesota and against Stephen F. Austin, which I'm going to guess that Trayvon Boykin probably didn't play but a quarter against Stephen F. Austin. He passed for 246 yards, and that was against Minnesota. And in the second game against Stephen F. Austin, he threw for 285 yards and 4 touchdowns. After that, the next 7 games consecutively, this man passed for 454, 485, 332, 301, 436, 389, and in a loss this past weekend, 445 yards. He had the 4 interceptions, his worst game as a starter, clearly. But he throws for 445 yards, and they're not even talking about this man for a Heisman Trophy. Okay. All righty then. Yeah. That's disrespect. And then if you look at the touchdown totals, man, for the year, he's thrown 29 touchdowns. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. He's thrown 29 touchdowns, and he's thrown 9 interceptions. 29-9. And he threw 4 of those 9 interceptions this past weekend in the loss against Oklahoma State. So I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. And a lot of this stuff, it plays itself out. We know that. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So really no need to fret. This is kind of what we do in sports talk radio. And guy talk radio, we just talk about the possibilities of something happening. We look to the future, and we try to prognosticate. I get it. I totally get it. So we'll see what happens. But I think a fundamental question you have to ask yourself is, who's the most dynamic player in the sport? Like, if you took the guy away, how much would it affect their win-loss totals? If you take away Leonard Fournette from LSU, clearly, they're not half as good as a football team as they've been this year. Yeah, I mean, it's not even a question to me. It's not even a question. Oh, man. I'm looking at all of this chat before I get out of here, man. From 9-0 the Rhino, he says, Doug. Man, we don't want to read that. Miss Mocha Bella says, Doug never told us about the show in Bug Tussle, Tennessee. I didn't tell y'all about that? Sold out, Shawty. Sold out. That's right. I didn't talk about that. Yeah, man, I performed in Bug Tussle, Tennessee. It's been a couple of months now, man, to a sold-out crowd. I think it was 135 people there. I mean, sold out. And I did my thing. Loose Neck Psy. Ninja did what with records? I don't know what he means by that. From Jersey Vern, a.k.a. Chief Rocker. Ninja, you ain't no Chief Rocker. Vern says, Doug, man, I've come around on your singing. You are the man. Thank you, Vern from Jersey. Yes, sir. Let's see. Texas Ty. Doug, the highlight of my day is hearing you sing. You're welcome, Texas Ty. We got here Sluggo. He says, Doug, do you have a tour schedule available? We're working on that, man. But as soon as we get one, I'll let you know, Sluggo. Yes, sir. We got here Read a couple of more, man. Thorny Switch. Doug, how much will you charge me to sing at my next birthday? I love your singing, Doug. A.K.A. Thorny Switch. Thank you, Thorny. Yes, sir. From Matt Ninja. Doug, you are a blessing like an angel above. With your song, you bless us all, Doug. You're a blessing. You might be called the preacher. You're such a blessing. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome, Ninja. Oh, man, I can read this stuff all day long, but I won't, man. I got to get out of here. I got to go see a man about a horse. Oh. All right. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Thank you to Tree, even though she wasn't here today. I think she'll be back tomorrow on a fantastic, freaky, funny Football Friday. We'll see. Waterhead, thank you, man. Waterhead he gave me a heads up. He said John Fisher spoke for all of the Stewies and talking about my singing. Thank you, Waterhead. Dwayne Bassan, Gerald Oliveri, my engineers, thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. And a big special thank you to all of the Stewies, man. Without you, there'd be no me. Yes, sir. Yeah. Also, shouts out to my man Pink Gator and Beans and Cornbread on the production for this track. Thank you. Once again, we'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Y'all be careful on them streets. Peace.